So we all look in search for, we all are human beings looking for meanings. So what is very meaningful to you? So you have to ask yourself, what do I die for? Is there meaning to my life? And so that I think is important to realize. You have control over your life, you have agency, you have a life, but you don't know how to take it. So be aware of it. So you should be aware of what is important to you.
좋은 코치가 되려면 좋은 경험을 해야 된다라고 생각을 하는데, 교수님처럼 좋은 코치가 되기 위해서는 어떤 경험을 우리가 좀 쌓으면 좋을까에 대해서 한번 여쭤보고 싶거든요.
The way I use the people is, if you would mind my student, I ask you, tell me your story. And so you have 45 minutes, 50 minutes for actually a documentary of your life. So in your documentary of your life, what are you going to tell? Are you going to tell everything? No. Certain things that you not want to tell, you're a little bit ashamed of it, you don't really like to tell. But if you don't tell anything, you don't get anything. So you have to have 45 minutes to really figure out the different things. So when you tell a story to me, I move into the story. And I listen to the story and said, my God, and I listen to your story, what would I have done? Would I have done the same thing as you did, or do it different? So it evokes lots of emotions in me. And so after the story, I come to you and say, maybe you can do this, maybe you can do this. So you learn a lot about how to deal with certain situations. And you get that, of course, in the programs I run, it's over a year. So a year you get lots of information about how you could deal with certain situations. So in the beginning, people talk about how to become a better leader, how to run a better team, how to have a better integration of two companies, how to deal with the culture of the organization. In the end, they talk about meaning. What is the purpose of my life? And also, what am I really good at? The most important thing in your life, a sense of belonging. The most important thing in life is good relationship with family and friends. So apart from being a good leader, apart from being effective in running a good team, apart from being effective in growing a great culture and organization, the most important thing is, what are the things which really give you pleasure? So meaning, and come back, so I wrote a book called Quo Vadis, which really has to do with meaning. So we all look in search for, we all are human beings looking for meanings. So what is very meaningful to you? Too many people in Korea, they work very hard, they run around like rats in a cage, and then suddenly they die. So you have to ask yourself, what do I die for? Is there meaning to my life? And so that I think is important to realize. You have control over your life, you have agency, you have a life, but you don't know how to take it. So be aware of it. So you should be aware of what is important to you.
리더십에 대해서 여쭤보고 싶었던 게 있었는데요. 그 일을 잘하는 것을 하기 위해서는 어떻게 해야 할지가 좀 궁금합니다.
Many people work very hard, but they don't work very smart. Many people work very hard on not important. Like, I'm not very good in queries for my editors. That's not my thing. I get bored. By the time I write a book, I can't stand it anymore. So you should focus on the things you're really good at. So that's important. So I'm coming back to working hard and working smart. For example, you have to pay attention to your body. I know I'm a lark. You have two kinds of people. You have a lark and an owl. Some people are very peppy in the morning. Some people are very peppy in the evening. I know that in the morning I am most productive. But after a few hours, I start to float. So you have to pay attention to your body. Some people keep on slugging. They wasted their time. So you have to be good in what I call self-care and self-compassion.
정식 분석학의 대가라고도 또 알려지고 계셔서 어떻게 하면 사람을 변화시킬 수 있는 핵심 자극이 뭘까라는 거에 대해서 항상 제가 고민을 갖고 있거든요. 그거에 대해서는 혹시 어떻게 생각하시는지 좀 여쭤보고 싶었습니다.
I take a sledgehammer. I hit them over the head. No, I mean, you do something like motivational interviewing. You don't go immediately against the defenses. And you say, yes, that's very interesting. And you say, and what you would do that. And so slowly a person realizes, him or herself, that what he's doing is totally self-destructive. So you have to let them be. You don't go against the defenses. That's not going to help because people, their hackles go up and say, you're wrong. No, say you're right. That's a good idea. And you slowly let them develop. I'm a psychoanalyst, but I will do anything that works as long as I get some movement. It's called motivational interviewing. It's a form of judo. You go with them and see, and then they start to realize, my God, I'm completely. This is completely ridiculous what I'm doing.
그럼 1대1 측면에서의 자극은 유도처럼 이렇게 오는 대로 할 수는 있겠는데 팀 차원의 접근을 할 때는 어떤 식으로 해야 될지가 좀 고민이긴 하거든요. 그거에 대해서는 혹시 어떻게 생각하시는지요?
When you have a group coaching, when a person tells you you have ears like a donkey, ignore it. But if 10 people tell you you have ears like a donkey, get yourself a saddle. When a number of people tell you the same thing, you might say, maybe they might have a point. That's the good thing about team coaching. Maybe it is something I should think a little bit about it. For example, when you talk about organizations, they say it's too delicate. But when you have people start to realize why a person behaves the way he or she is behaving, you get more and more of more gestalt. It worked quicker, in my experience. I've been trying it now for many, many years and it seemed to work. Maybe I may be completely wrong, but it seemed to work.
다음 질문으로는 이제는 AI 시대가 또 왔다고 하는데 이 시대에 있어서 변화하는 게 좀 있다고 생각하시는지 아니면 변화하지 않는 게 또 있다고 생각하시는지.
My experience with AI is that it is not very creative. It's very nice to put a package together which you already know, but to do some new things. I mean, you have been AI already for years. Don't you know that?
Yeah.
Now it's becoming a little bit more smoother, but it has been there. The problem with AI is that many people will lose their job. But on the other hand, maybe new jobs will be created. I'm not very worried about AI. It's just another tool which will be helpful. And my experience with AI is, I recently did something and I put in there, it's full of emptiness. I felt an interest, full of emptiness. What can AI tell me about it? Nothing. They had the lack of creativity. So your creative mind will beat AI. I wouldn't be too worried about it. But what is the problem is, of course, that executives are at this point in time suffering from overload, information overload, and they have to make a decision what is important, what's not important. You know that I get every day around 60 emails or 70 emails, and I have to really try to figure out what is important, and that is becoming a real problem. How to sieve on the information which is relevant and not relevant. What I deal is I read a lot. I read a lot of different newspapers. When I talk about the 7C of leadership, one is the element of dealing with complexity. And so I try to read a lot of different, from different orientations, and then I have to make a judgment. That's what wisdom is all about, I guess. You know what the difference is between knowledge and wisdom? Knowledge is how to put a Kalashnikov together. Wisdom is when to use it. It's a terrible example, by the way. But it's very true. It's very true.
어떤 스킬과 지식들을 좀 가르쳐주면 이런 코칭 문화나 코칭 역량을 상승할 수 있을 것 같은지 교수님의 조언을 좀 듣고 싶습니다.
No, I mean, basically it's a question of power. The top executives have to see that it's better for the bottom line. If you have a coaching culture, if you have a company which is more emotionally intelligent, it will make more money. That's what it is. I mean, that's the end result. It will be more profitable. Coming back to when you have such a low percentage which is really engaged, if you can get a larger percentage engaged, you will be more profitable. And so you have to have top management have to understand that if they have more of a coaching culture in the organization, they'll make more money. That's what it comes down to. Profit with purpose. That's what they have to look.
실제로 그러면 HR을 하는 담당자가 어떻게 좀 더 접근하면 좋을지 사례나 아니면 실제로 코칭하시면서 경험했던 게 있으시면 알려주시면 좀 좋을 것 같은데요.
I think one is it's writing. One is probably having a conference on that to really make it very clear to them. In the end, it's all about money. They have to be if they see that they will be more profitable if they do this kind of thing, they will be interested. So you have to that has to really be emphasized in conferences about the profitability of coaching, that they will have better results in the organization. When you look at blood pressure, you don't see it. And it's the same thing with stress in organizations. If you be able to motivate people and get them excited about things, it will lower the stress level in the organization, and people will be more motivated and more interested in doing the best they can. And that really has to do with the coaching. You see it already in the West. A status symbol has become to have a great coach, to really improve the output of the person in charge. And that has to happen also here.
마지막으로 한국에 또 처음 오셨는데 한국에 있는 뭐 HR 담당자나 아니면 리더나 여러 CEO들한테 해주고 싶으신 말씀이 있으시면 마지막으로 해주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
It's coming back to how to reinvent yourself, how to the element of reinvent. The thing is, when you are a long time in one organization, you get stuck. And it's time, and we now live in an area where you have continuous education, so you have to really renew yourself on a regular basis. That is going to be quite important. Otherwise, you don't contribute well to the organization. We live longer. You will have more and more of a portfolio career, so you have to really do new things. That's, I think, important.
네, 오늘 맨프레드 교수님과 많은 이야기 나눠봤는데요. 아쉽게도 촬영은 여기서 마무리하도록 하겠습니다. 그럼 저는 다음 주에 또 다른 주제로 여러분들 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.